time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
Yes, y'all. Welcome in everybody to the Troy Polamalu edition of the Dumb Marks podcast, Oreo Cookie edition, the original Oreo Cookie edition. Your favorite Saturday bunch boys back in the house, the triple effect. Chris is somewhere over on the West Coast, out, living up Bob Ross's favorite paintings right now. He was sending pictures in a group chat of just landscapes, just snow-capped mountains in the background, lakes. I'm like, what are you doing out there, dude? So yeah, he's over in Seattle, right? He's over in Seattle for a little family trip out there. So he will be back joining us next week. We may have gotten his drink of the week review. I'm not sure if he sent that through the group chat or not before the show came on. So I don't know if he did that or not, but. Gentlemen, how we doing? We good, Donald? I know you still fooded and booted.
Yes, I am. Yep. I still got another 2 weeks before my appointment. So yeah, like the swelling underneath the toe now is gone. So now I'm really starting to feel the pain where the impact was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like testing it out, putting pressure and stuff on it. But as soon as I put the pressure on it, it's like So no wonder why they told me at least 3 weeks.
right. Mm-hmm. I'm potting here on about 3 hours and 45 minutes to sleep. Was up till about 2 something last night. Woke up at 6. Me and the wife went and did a little walk this morning down the waterfront. Walked along the trail. Finished up some grocery shopping. It's been a productive day already. You know what I mean? Like I may crash at 7 o'clock tonight, but right now it's been a productive day. You know,
it's already midday form for you.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back to bed and call it a day. Like you can't get much better than what I had so far this morning. Like
I'm just getting up with sleep out my eyes, and y'all done did the world today.
I know you couldn't find your podcasting pants. What's up with that? You got podcasting pants. Legitimate podcasting pants.
Yes, so I can roll out of bed and just slide these bad boys on and go.
I'm surprised you even put pants on. It's from the waist up. Like you
never know. The camera might or the laptop might fall. You never know.
Yeah, it might be. What is that? The Folgers commercial where the dude is drinking his coffee, got his cup of coffee down, and it's playing, and he's just in his drawers on the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, well, these were like Zoom pants too, so I didn't want to be on with the fellas, just like straight Winnie the Pooh it.
Yeah, I know I got the After Dark shirt on, but we don't need the twigs and berries popping through. You know what I mean? We saved that for another episode. But all right. So with all that being said, glad everybody had a decent week so far. A lot to get into this week, but let's run through the intro here and hop on any of the usual topics that we go through before we get into the shits and giggles of everything. What do you guys want to start at? You want to start with video game stuff? You want to start with TV, movies? What do you guys want to get into?
I'll start with the video game stuff. WB Games Montreal studio that's up in Montreal, of course. They are in the project of making a new Superman game. So it actually was supposed to have been 2013. It was in development, then got canceled, and it got picked up again. So look for it to come out. What they said definitely not before the Gotham Knights game, but they said sometime within the next 2 or 3 years. So finally, a decent Superman game will be out.
It's better than that 64 one.
Oh, that one was the worst.
No.
I don't even remember the Superman game for 64.
Oh, that was bad.
I don't think I ever played it. Yeah, I don't think I ever played that.
I played it one time and I couldn't get the control.
It was hard to control when they had no plot, no point, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just there flying through like rings the whole time. Like that.
I think it might be rated the worst maybe the worst game, but the worst superhero game.
It did. The only other video game news I had, Walmart had a real big PS5 restock this week, and people who ordered the digital ones, Walmart actually overcompensated and over-ordered on the digitals, so people didn't get their digital copies at all. But on a cool part for them, the people who ordered the digitals and they didn't get them, they gave them a regular standard one free of charge, so they didn't have to pay the extra $100. So Walmart was like, "Hey, it's our fault. We overcompensated on the digitals and that stuff, but we have more standard, so we'll send you the standard free of charge." So
yeah, I had that article. I had that article saved off that I saw this week with that. So
yeah, so actually, company like doing the right thing for a change.
I heard we were sending out replenishment emails like for people who already got systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the article that I read. It was for the people that bought the $400 system. They were getting the emails letting them know, and that. But yeah, I saw, and then Jay, I saw you posted this earlier this week. The retro video game store out there with the 20-year, was it the 20-year edition of NBA Street?
I believe it was 20 years. I don't know if it was an addition, but I know it's been 20 years since.
20 years. Wow. Really?
Yo,
the game felt like it just came out like maybe 7 years ago.
The amount of hours I put in on NBA Street on the PS2 was insane. That's one of my favorite games on the PS2.
Yeah.
You unlocked the Yeti, it was game over. You were blocking everything.
My favorite combo is slip and slide, serving it up, dinner served. Just give me those two things and I'm cool.
Yeah, like
W doing the soundtrack.
Like, I mean, think about the evolution of video games just from NBA Jam on Sega, which is it the shoes? He's on fire, like the alley-oops and all that. If you look at that, and then you look at what NBA Street was, it like blew your mind back then. If you're our age and you were playing both, like that was, NBA Jam was like 7-8-year-old me on the sticks nonstop playing all night long in the summertime, and then NBA Street was high school me on the sticks playing all night long, like just.
Yeah, I wish EA Big was back in business. I did.
Yeah, like bring back
that's an SSX.
Yeah, bring back Street, bring back NFL Street, bring back NFL Blitz. Let me get NFL Blitz back on the sticks.
Yeah, SSX. Yeah, that's all EA. Shutting down those smaller companies they bought up. Fuck EA. That's what it comes down to. Can't stand them.
I can't say it. I'll be buying Madden in a couple months.
Everybody buy that college in a couple years.
Oh, that college is gonna get worn out. Like that's gonna get worn out. Sure.
Yeah, but that's all I had on the gaming front. Had nothing else.
Yeah. What else did I see for video games? Looks like I saw there was an article on Game Rant that October is going to be a huge month for video games. As far as what's being released in that, you can see what they have. So Far Cry 6 is October 7th. That's Ubisoft. What else we got? Metroid Dread is October 8th. That looks serious. Back for Blood is October 12th. Battlefield 2042 is October 22nd. And then probably the game that I'm most excited for, Guardians of the Galaxy, is October 26th. So those right there. Oh, and Mario Party Superstars is October 29th. So,
and then November's big too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
did they announce a new Call of Duty in November, or are they just going to stack on Warzone?
I didn't see it yet.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it on the Warzone too, like everything else.
But yeah, October might have to rob a bank or something. Buy them video games up. It'll be interesting to see what all they put on the Game Pass. Because I know July they announced 3 games already for July. None of the games I'm gonna play, but it'll be interesting to see what comes directly on Game Pass that you're able to play right there. So hopefully they put that Guardians on there because that looks really, really dope right now. Anything else on the gaming front? No. Donald, you went and saw Fast 9?
Yes,
yesterday?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Without giving any spoilers, for those of us that are truly in the Fast and Furious franchise, I rewatched Tokyo Drift yesterday. Every time that movie's on, I don't know why, that's like one of my favorites. It could just be Bow Wow with the you can't just walk up into Kamada's place, man. Like,
I think that's where I stopped.
It gets me every time. It doesn't matter where it's at in the movie, at what points in the very beginning, or there could be 10 minutes left. I stop and watch Tokyo Drift. But thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I give it in the middle. I really give it in the middle. I was giving it a shot, but man, it felt like I was watching a Mission Impossible movie. I swear to goodness, I thought I was watching Mission Impossible.
Here's the question. Did you get an attitude adjustment?
No. I was looking for it the whole time. No, you didn't.
You get a rock bottom in everyone.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I really was looking for it. I was like, it's right at this part. Nah. Yeah, but what they need to do, they need to take the female cast and just make a movie with them. Boy, because they were looking fine as hell. Every one of them.
Don't we say that with every DC TV show?
Every one of them. Mm-hmm. But I didn't mind it for the backstory. They went on the backstory of the Toretto, so that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, so the backstory
that's it, right? That's the final installment, right?
No,
they're going to 11.
They said 11. I thought 10 was the final one.
They said 11.
They said, "Oh, come on, man!
They gotta go to space. That's what kills every franchise."
Speaking of space and worlds unknown, did you guys catch up and watch Loki this week?
I did. Mm-hmm.
This show, I was upset this week whenever it ended, like because it was shorter out of the 3 episodes, time-wise, run-wise, it was shorter, and I wasn't expecting it to cut when it did. And I thought I was watching the Sopranos finale all over again. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, so I like rewound and I'm like, oh, that was really the end of the episode this week. But,
yeah, I was just like you too. I was like, that's it? Like, oh, come on now.
These last 3 episodes are going to be really, really interesting.
I still like the second episode. That was so good.
I think this week's episode is going to be very pivotal for how the rest of the series shakes out. And I think there was a lot of little stuff in this episode that if you weren't paying attention to as the last 3 episodes come out, like you'll miss stuff. So I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch this episode.
I could definitely tell where like the Doctor Strange stuff might come into play for the way it's playing out, given it's called the Multiverse of Madness and that stuff. So it's like I could definitely see where they're trying to go with this.
Since you brought up Doctor Strange, one of the things I saw this week in an article says Doctor Strange 2 is reportedly featuring Namor, Professor X, and Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, I heard Namor, but Professor X and Mr. Fantastic, that's okay.
So we may get the first X-Men sighting in a Marvel franchise here. So interesting to see if that's just all rumor mill or if it actually shapes up. There's going to be so much that movie, like at this point, because of how everything is and like all the reports that are out there, rumors, it's like I don't know if you're going to go in with like all these expectations and then it just doesn't live up to the hype, or if you're going to be blown away by what they actually do pull off, because it's not what was expected at all. You know what I mean? Like they're keeping stuff in the tuck and gonna hit you with it, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, they pulled that off." So, I don't know, but it'll be here before we know it. It's February of next year, so you're talking 6 months from now. So the way they got stuff lined up for the rest of the year now, it'll be here soon, and things will get tied in. So Marvel's hitting the ground running. Black Widow comes out on July 9th. So what, 2 weeks away?
2 weeks. Yeah.
Are you guys planning on going to the theater to watch Black Widow?
I might try to.
I think we have to start that.
I think I might try to, because like they always say at the movies, this movie's made for the big screen. It's not made for your phone.
We'll see. I didn't have nothing else, like no snacks wise, nothing like that. I did.
Oh, let me throw these in there real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw you with the other day. Those are definitely it.
Oh no, yeah.
Your hand can't stop.
I was at Walmart yesterday and I didn't find them.
We sold out. I think we got another batch in though. Like we sold out quick.
Yeah, you might have to scoop me up one and I'll chew on them now.
Yeah, I got mine like a week early. They were just in the back room, and I was like, let me go on ahead and take a bottle. I don't even know if it'll be out.
You scout around the vendor room.
That's why I lied and said I went to the gas station to get them.
He out there walking around like, what you got on these Pringles, man?
I ain't want nobody knowing where I got my stash from or raiding it.
That's funny.
Oh, one thing movie-wise too, the Halloween Kills trailer came out this week, and man, as a horror person, that looks good.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch it. I did watch the Shang-Chi 2 trailer.
I didn't get to watch that yet.
Go watch that. Very, very interesting ending to that trailer. I will say that. So that'll be a tease for next week on the intro. That's your homework for this week's episode. Go watch that. Go watch that trailer and see if you pick up what's there at the end, because it'll have a lot more questions than answers. But it looks fantastic. Like I'm so pumped for that movie. That movie and the Eternals is what I'm looking forward to the most right now, because I think with those two, it's going to be something completely different than what Marvel's done from a superhero movie perspective. Like the way the Eternals it looks like it's shot and portrayed and everything right now looks like an actual like cinematic movie, not just like another superhero movie. If that makes sense. Yeah. And then Shang-Chi, man, I think the impact of that could be like what like the Bruce Lee Kung Fu movies did back in the 70s. Is how I think it's going to play out. But super pumped for those two.
Yeah, I think Doctor Strange and Eternals are really going to be like a flashpoint, like a major loop in the MCU. I think those two movies are really going to pull out a lot of information for stuff. And
then the last thing that I wanted to address in the intro, us being from Pittsburgh and Jason's favorite iced tea company, there was some stuff posted this week by Chris's sister out in central PA somewhere. Don't know exactly where. But there was an imposter Turner's company out there.
Or was it an original?
No. The picture itself, it's straight thievery. Look at this. The label, the writing, the coloring.
Copyright infringement.
So, as a fellow Yinzer and a dedicated Pittsburgh,
you reported it.
What did I do with this information? I went directly to the source. I tweeted Turner's with the picture.
And when you said this is the original.
I said, at Turner's, you need to send somebody out to Central PA right now and stop this gimmick infringement and sue for IP rights. because this is bullshit. And what did they tweet back to me? Straight thievery. That's right. Thievery, Jay.
Copyright.
But
Trademark.
when you're the best, what do they say? Imitation is a form of flattery. And this joker, Gers or Guers, I don't even know how you pronounce it. You can try to intimidate the original, but you will never be better than the original. Okay?
What if they stole it and got bigger than Quay, whatever the hell it's?
Terrible.
I couldn't believe it whenever I saw that. I was like, I might drive to Central PA myself.
Take a Barbs.
Yeah, ridiculousness. So yeah.
How do you not buy it though?
You're not supposed to buy it.
You got to buy it and try it.
What if it's like a rogue Turner's employee that moved out to Central PA and stole the recipe and is just out there making Turner, slapping it in a different carton, and like the Gers is his last name. He's just out there. Mad. He's importing the Mon Valley water out to Central PA. So if you guys are out in Central PA listening to us and you see this iced tea, or you know where this match is at, hit us up on social media and let us know, because we'll get to the bottom of this. This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's my favorite. Out of spite.
And with that, I say let's wrap up this intro and let's get to, well, I'm not going to call Bell to Bell this week. This week we're going to call it WTF, because WWE.
Where's Chris?
F. That's it. Chris is so mad at
that. Sorry, I'm doing the sticks.
Transition. Wait.
We're in Bell to Bell, everybody.
Who commented from the pod? Put that comment up. Is that Chris commenting from Dumbarks on Facebook? Because he watching us live.
He said just like Shelly's Pie and Vincent's. Oh, it's Shelly Pie.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Anchors and triangle.
All right. We can come back to that another time. We're in the Bell to Bell now. You're right on the draw. Donald's quick on the transition. We got new production people this week. Killing the show. Killing the damn show.
Already.
And speaking of killing the business, killing the show, just jump into WWE this week.
Okay.
Sunday night, Hell in a Cell. We gave out our predictions last week for the show. To be completely honest with you, I watched 2 matches on this show. Wasn't interested in this at all. I caught the end of Sammy and KO, with Sammy winning, which was a surprise, but they played off of the injury to Owens, based off of what he got going on with Apollo and Commander Aziz. I saw Charlotte and Rhea, and then Bobby and Drew to close out the show. So I saw those 2 matches, the end of KO and Sammy, and then I missed Bianca, Bailey, and Alexa and Shayna.
And Cesaro Rollins.
Yeah. I saw the end of Bailey and Bianca, and saw all of Seth and Cesaro. That was
it was a decent peer review. I just hated the finishes, honestly, except for Lashley's. His was like expected, even though I want him to win in dominant fashion. But
yeah, I think I saw some people tweeting out and that basically saying Cesaro's push is dead because you had him lose to Seth. So that short-lived run for him after re-signing was done. So they can move on from that. I thought Alexa Bliss and Shayna had some interesting spots. Playing off of her being double jointed and and that for like the submission stuff and not really affecting her and all that. But then again, you get into like the voodoo black magic type stuff that she's doing, and that just kills the vibe for me with that. Bailey and Bianca, I didn't watch. I saw some of the spots that they did though. I liked it. They got creative with some of the stuff that they did in there. The sales match has been happening so much. Like how do you do spots to keep it interesting at this point? You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I thought them two were very good. I don't know if TJ Wilson produced that match or not. Normally he does majority of the women's matches. So if he did produce that match, shout out to him for helping them come up with some of those creative spots. And as well as them giving their input, I'm sure they did with that as well. So,
well, I watched with my family, and they shit on the whole match. The whole match. Here's my mother the whole time. You mean to tell me her makeup ain't coming off? You doing all this, your lips are still red. My mom the whole time. Like, come on, you're killing me.
So yeah,
I was supposed to hear. I'm like, Mom, you take a ladder. Let me hit you with a ladder right now.
Take her out back.
That's great. So Hell in a Cell happens. I think nothing big, nothing really huge or implicating for future stuff to happen went down. So what do we do because it's WWE? Well, we have a pay-per-view 3 weeks from now, so let's automatically just jump right into Money in the Bank, which they did on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into Raw and what went down on Monday night, Jay, I know you said you liked the show. What was it about the show that you liked? Because I want to see if your answer is what people on the Twitter machine and elsewhere.
One, to me, Lashley and Xavier had the best Hell in a Cell match of the week. And that storyline between him and Kofi, I'm looking forward to it. And then you had, I guess, just because it wasn't the storyline, you had different matchups.
So, a lot of people saying the same thing as you, and I guess the overall gist of it was that the unexpected of people winning matchups, and because there was stakes involved, made them enjoy the show more. Mm-hmm. I hated Raw Monday night.
Okay.
I watched all 3 hours of it. I sat through it. The reason why, and this comes back to our fundamental difference, Jay, between me and you. And Donald, you can weigh in on this with what side of the fence you sit on, depending on what's going on. But because you have a pay-per-view 3 weeks from the pay-per-view that just ended, you're automatic, like, you hotshot everything. So yes, you slap stakes by putting Money in the Bank qualifying matches out there. But at the same time, when you look at who won, people were so excited that Ricochet won. And me being the pessimist with that, I'm like, well, of course Ricochet won. It's Money in the Bank ladder match. You need to get the guys in there that's going to be able to do the spots to pop the crowd. So yes, Ricochet won. That he's in the match. Same thing with Morrison. Morrison can do the spots in the match. I didn't like how Kofi just walked out and said, I challenge you to a match. And Lashley was like, I accept. And that's the pay-per-view title match. And then while Lashley and Woods, the match itself was really good. I enjoyed the match itself. But the fact that you just had a meaningless cell match on bitch about Fox getting one with no stakes at all. Title wasn't on the line. Xavier wasn't getting added to the title match for at Money in the Bank. He didn't qualify for Money in the Bank. He literally just had a cell match as the quote unquote building block to the beef between Kofi and Lashley. And it's like, what? Like, it does nothing for me. It doesn't get me invested at all.
What, the match or the storyline?
The storyline, because it doesn't make any sense.
What part of it?
The fact
that Xavier had to get thrown to the wolves, or
why was Xavier and Lashley in the cell? What like
wasn't it just because Lashley was just like, I want your man's in the match.
in a match.
Like the one to
No,
take him out.
he wants Kofi in the match, but no outside interference.
So that's what he wanted.
Pretty much
Basically
how
to
it
take
went
him out.
Take out Xavier altogether.
But it's not like New Day's heels where Xavier interferes in matches. So again, like that right there just
plays the trombone.
Doesn't make sense.
He's Kofi's P. That's all.
But so like I get it. Like you have to get to the next pay-per-view, but when you book these pay-per-views so close back to back, and we saw this with AEW whenever they had their latest run, one of their latest runs. I forget what 2 shows it was, but there wasn't a lot of build in between, and it was the same thing where like, the matchups you want to see, but there wasn't time to build to anything properly, and everything got hot-shotted to the point where it's like you don't care.
I mean, I get them doing it for the qualifying matches. Because there's no stakes. The stakes in that is just to be in the match. So I get that. And
we'll touch on what SmackDown did to just shit all over that last night.
Well, they do it every time. It just depends on, because like last year they just threw, I think Raw's men, they just threw their men in and compete.
So you had 3 qualifying matches on Raw, right?
Yeah.
You had Ricochet win, Morrison win, and Riddle win. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a backstage segment with Cedric Alexander, Jeff Hardy, Jinder Mahal, and Sheamus were the 4. And they were complaining to Pierce, like, why aren't we in qualifying matches? These are our credentials. What's going on? All this stuff. And then after that segment, what did they announce for this coming Monday's Raw? The losers of the 3 qualifying matches are in a triple threat for a qualifying spot. It makes no sense.
I hate it, but I feel you need a big name in there. Because if you put AJ in, he's putting somebody over. If you put Randy in,
plus he's Raw Tag Champ. So
yeah, I think if you put Randy in, he's gonna either cost Riddle the match or help him win the match to put him over. I think if you put Drew in, he's gonna win. So that's why I don't want Drew in at all.
But it's like, so okay, because you guys lost the qualifying match. Since you lost it, guess what we're going to do? We're going to reward you
with another chance.
Give you a participation trophy, and then let you get another chance to qualify again.
I don't like that, but you need a name in there.
Nah. I'm rather better with 4 qualifying matches.
Jeff Hardy's not a name.
Come on now. No.
What?
Not a big name.
He could do the spots.
He can do the spots, but so can everybody else in the ring.
You wouldn't rather see Jeff Hardy over Drew McIntyre?
We're down to Hardy. Give me Alexander. You want to throw him in there?
I would like to see Alexander.
Please stop bringing up Hardy. Either of them, like they can still go, like they're still extreme Hardy.
I'm not saying that he can still go. You just brought up strictly name value, and Jeff Hardy to me is just as big of a name, if not bigger than Drew McIntyre. He's level with Randy Orton. Name for name.
Not in the moment. Not in this current time.
You just said name. Name.
The hot person. Jeff ain't hot.
So there's that, right? And then the qualifying matches for women were tag team matches.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have men do singles matches. Women, we're gonna have them do tag team matches. And you get who did you get on Raw from Monday night?
Naomi and Asuka. And I forget the
Nikki and Alexa.
Nikki and Alexa. And who was the other one?
Asuka and Naomi.
Naomi and Asuka, yeah. So Naomi and Asuka, they pulled the trigger and went with Doudrop. They actually did it. That's a real life thing that was announced.
But did you see how it came about?
I did see how it came about.
Okay.
Piper Niven.
You can't use Piper.
She was getting ready to say it, and Eva Marie cut her off and called her Doudrop. So all the heat goes on Eva Marie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see that. My suggestion, what I tweeted out, and I don't know where they're going with this storyline because they already threw a curveball and it's a week old between them two. Like, it's a week old. You saw Doudrop, Piper Niven drop off the apron. Eva Marie lost. That's how Naomi and Asuka got into Money in the Bank. So there's already dissension between these two, even though they just came out last week and she was her protege, her protege, whatever.
Young boy.
My thing is, if you want to get ultimate heat, this is what you should have done. This is how I would have booked it. As everybody says on Busted Open every week, if I had the pencil, this is what I would have done. If I had the pencil for this situation, to make the internet wrestling community absolutely lose their minds, I would have had Piper, Doudrop, and Eva win on Monday night, go to Money in the Bank.
You can't.
Go to Money in the Bank. Doudrop takes out everybody in the match. Eva climbs up the ladder and gets the briefcase. She's your Money in the Bank winner to cash in. The amount of heat.
I would have got heat. I would have.
And I'm talking Eva not do a single thing in Money in the Bank. Not a single thing. The only time you see her inside the ring during the match is to climb up the ladder. That place would have booed the shit out of her. She'd have been the biggest heel in the company. Off of that. Off of that alone. Like, if you're going to do it, then go full bore with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to troll people by having her out there and doing the same stuff that she was doing before she left the company, then lean into it 1,000% and do stuff that's going to actually piss people off. Don't do this already. There's dissension between them two, and Piper cost Eva the match, so now she's going to be mad at her protege. And like, I don't know. Like, why do that already? The story is 7 days old between the two.
And she's supposedly gone already?
Well, she tweeted out that was in air and she hasn't been released. And so WWE on their website with their alumni section and active roster and all that,
it's still on because this is waiting in the company no more. That's still on the page.
They shouldn't even have it up there.
Yeah.
But no, like 1,000% go into it. If they would have did that on Monday night and given me that Money in the Bank, sold. I'm good. She doesn't have to cash in and win. You know what I mean? She can cash in and lose. But at the same time, the amount of heat that would have generated.
You would have really accepted that if it happened?
Absolutely. Because you're leaning in, you're trolling the fans at that point. You're doing it purposefully. Like, there's meaning behind it. You know what I mean? It's not because somebody in creative came up with the great idea. You're taking what the fans want. And not only that, but to get into Money in the Bank, she beats Naomi again.
See, that's the
Naomi stand.
I don't think they want to go down that path.
Why not?
Why not? They're not using her, so hey.
It's Juneteenth. You don't want
There was no mention of that on Raw. There was no mention of that on Raw.
What's that?
But I mean, seriously though, like, do it. It's different. It's unexpected,
especially from them. Yeah,
from them. Yes, it's something completely different from what they would do. But if this whole gimmick, which when she started before she got released or before she they parted ways, it was a straight troll job. Every week it was something else. Oh, I have a wardrobe malfunction. Oh, and like she leaned into that a little bit. Like, oh, I had a headache last week. That's why Doudrop took my match for me, and because she's my protege, she stepped up. Like, okay, great. Then keep doing that, and then over the next 2 weeks, you can have her do that, and it would get people more hot and more hot and more hot. And then you get to Money in the Bank, and they come out, and she just walks around the ring, and she's cheering her on. And Doudrop takes out everybody. And just when you think Doudrop's going to climb up, Eva Marie comes in, taps her on the shoulder, tells her to step aside, and she slowly, not fast, slowly climbs up that ladder.
Get all those booze in.
All those booze. Milk that to the fullest, right? Get up to the top step and pause and look around at everybody. And let it rain in some more. And then reach up and grab that case. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
That would work, yeah. I bet that would get eyes on the show.
People would be livid. 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 And then you know what you do to make up for it? You have Doudrop. Now you have Doudrop turn on Eva and challenge her for the briefcase. And then you let Piper Niven win the briefcase off of Eva Marie.
Doudrop.
So not only did you get all the heat and everything else, but then you get the payoff. And Doudrop is automatically you're the biggest babyface woman you have in your company because she took the briefcase off the woman that can't wrestle. That's just an Instagram workout model that doesn't really want to be in the wrestling business. And you have an actual legitimate women's wrestler take it from her to challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. She doesn't have to win it either. But, I mean, look what you did with that story. I'm invested in that. I'm sold. Instead, we get Naomi and Asuka win. They're in the match, and then you have Doudrop jump off the apron because she didn't like being called Doudrop. Understandably so. Doudrop is the worst name ever.
Look, I don't mind Doudrop. It's like Bubbles. Who are the Powerpuff Girls? Bubbles, such and such and such and such.
You got me.
It's like Debo. His name is Tiny. You get a big person, a soft name. I don't mind Doudrop.
Nah.
So it's like, all right, well, so what, again, WTF? What did you do Monday night? You did so now where do you go? Now what happens with the story? What are they going to do now? Because they're certainly not in Money in the Bank. Are they going to? They're not going
to have enough women to fill the roster.
They're not going to wrestle for the women's tag team championships. Even if those belts get defended at Money in the Bank,
they might. There's only people left.
So yeah.
No, the thing is, Dana and Andy.
Yeah, them two.
That's it.
Lean into it.
I like your take.
I do like that. I really like that.
So now, again, sticking with the WTF theme for this week from WWE. Friday night, last night, SmackDown. Women's Money in the Bank. Sonya Deville comes out and automatically puts Carmella in the match. Okay?
That's how it happened.
Yeah, literally.
They do this every year with one version of the roster every year.
Came out, just put her in the match, right? Liv Morgan comes out and says, "Hey, Carmella, I beat you last week. I have more of a right to be in Money in the Bank than you do, and I can beat you again." And smacks Carmella across the face. So Sonya's like, "You know what, Mandy? I like what you're showing me here. You're showing me some fire. I like it. You know." Or I'm sorry, Liv. Right now, you're going to have a match against Carmella. You beat Carmella again. We'll see about putting you in Money in the Bank. Carmella, you're still in the match regardless if you win or lose. But Liv,
we'll see.
If you win, we'll see. Not if you win, you're in.
Yeah, we'll see.
After beating her last week, so you beat her again. So what does Liv do? She beats her again. So 2 weeks in a row she beats her, but yet she's not in the match.
She's in the match.
So
not right now.
So next week, what are you going to do next week? Oh, we're going to have another match between them two.
Mm-hmm.
Does she get in this time? No, we'll see.
It'll be the Friday before.
Dumbest booking ever. Dumbest booking ever.
She's the only one left. You got Sasha, unless she's being held off to what, SummerSlam?
No, Sasha's supposed to come back the Friday, the 16th, before Money in the Bank because it's live crowds. Is what was rumored to be. Her and Edge were supposedly held out until that, but as we saw last night in the main event angle, Edge comes back. So again, like WTF, what are you doing?
How many spots do they have left?
There's 8 spots. Wait, was Money in the Bank always 8 people?
I thought it was 7.
I thought it was 7. I always thought it was an odd number. I thought
It's
it was
8.
always.
I think it's 8 now.
Yeah,
It's
I thought
8.
it was always an odd number.
So you got 4
from Raw, 4 for SmackDown.
4 from Raw. There's now 4 on SmackDown.
That's
If you have Bayley and Bianca wrestling again at Money in the Bank, that you only have 7 people or 6 people on your women's roster on SmackDown. So I guess the other 4 would be in the match just due to default. And that's only if Sasha actually comes back before Money in the Bank.
What other 4? Natty's the tag champ.
There you go. So that's less. So So what is it going to be? 5 women from Raw and 3 from SmackDown?
I think it might be 2. And if you put Sasha in the match, it'll be 3.
And Sasha just automatically comes back and
it wins
in Money in the Bank after being off since WrestleMania?
I don't know.
But she's not going to win it.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
So, I have no idea what they're going to do. None at all.
Put Doudrop and Eva Marie in there. Second chance.
So stupid. So stupid.
Here comes who is it? Reckoning.
So, speaking of bad names and bad gimmicks, what was your take on Nikki Cross this week?
I hated the mask. I didn't care for it. Or not. I didn't care the mask. I don't mind the gimmick.
It was all background noise, and I looked up and was like, "What the hell's going on?"
But it was her idea, so let her fly with it.
I'm not mad at that. It was her idea. She pitched it. She came up with the gear design, everything. Okay. My thing, back in the day, we saw this with Molly Holly, right? She was with Hurricane, and she became,
I forgot her name.
Yeah, whatever it was. But it fit at the time based off of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
This was just so out of nowhere.
It was.
And I get the message behind it. I like the promo that she cut, when they showed her. I like the message that she's putting out there and everything. Mighty Molly, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that Chris again?
Yeah, he's on his.
He's from every account. He's got to see from Twitter next.
But I like the message and I like the input from her and letting her run with it. I just feel like I don't know how well that character and gimmick will go over in 2021. I think she can get anything over. Her personally, just because of her personality. Yeah, I mean,
but now it won't be over, but it's something you'll accept.
But again, this is another thing that I think that they didn't do right. She got added into the match. Then all of a sudden she goes from just being Nikki Cross to now she's a superhero, and is out there with a cape and a mask on, and it's just I don't know. I love Nikki Cross. I've loved her since she was the batshit crazy one Insanity in NXT. Her and Asuka in the last woman standing match was fantastic in NXT. She can go in the ring, but I just don't know how well it's gonna go in actually give a chance to get over.
So you know, because you don't see anything coming from it.
I just don't. At this point, based off of what we know from the Raw creative team, and we'll get into this, I just don't have faith for them to do anything with it besides just have her trope out like a superhero.
Mm-hmm. Did she call next for the title?
She did. I don't know what happened to that. He did.
Called next, and now you're a superhero.
But hold on. Here's the thing here.
Good with it.
Here's the other thing that like WTF scratching my head, right? Her and Alexa team up on Monday night. There's no dissension. There's no reference to them two. There's nothing. So everything that them two did in the past,
they did. They referenced it on commentary briefly.
I didn't catch that.
They referenced it.
But like that's the thing like that I hate with WWE. It's like,
but it's two different personalities.
So a superhero and like the dang devil spawn.
They don't know each other.
Nikki's gonna be the superhero that takes down the villainous Alexa Bliss.
I don't know.
It's like an episode of He-Man.
No,
she's gonna be Lily's kryptonite. Really?
No.
Trash.
Let her run with it, man. Let her see. She can do it.
It doesn't make sense.
So speaking of trash, it doesn't make sense. This week there was one of the writers from WWE was on a podcast, and she came out and said that she doesn't know who Bobby Lashley is, doesn't know his name, doesn't know anything about wrestling, and was told that don't worry, you don't have to know anything about the product to be a writer here. Excuse me?
I need to sign up now.
You don't need to know anything about the product to be a writer here. Well, this this goes around like wildfire.
I like that.
And 2 days later,
she needs canned.
She gets canned.
Yeah, you need canned. Shut your mouth.
Why? Why?
Why? Because you pull the sheet down?
You a double minority in a good position, and you gonna go run your mouth.
You're playing the ungrateful minority part right now.
No, you go run. I'm not playing the card. I'm just saying.
I mean, you mad because you pulled the sheet down.
This goes to the
but you don't. She's a comedian.
That's fine, but
yeah, but I mean, you don't have to. I don't think you should have. You shouldn't have everybody that knows the product in there.
So you can think outside the box.
They don't all have to know WWE. When I say product, I just mean wrestling in general. Well, how do you have people that don't watch or follow wrestling write for wrestling?
Because you just write. It depends on what they're writing. They could just be writing the jokes. If she's a comedian, she could be writing the jokes.
Well, none of that shit. None of the comedy spots on Raw have gotten over. If she's writing for Johnny Drip Drip, it's been a complete disaster.
You want us three in a room writing for WWE?
I would rather have us three in a room writing for WWE.
Because we don't agree on anything, so yeah.
Back in the day, you had Freddie Prinze Jr. writing. Right, he got hired on as a writer, but he was a huge fan and watched as a kid and knew the wrestling. So, like in that instance, how do you write for the character? Not only that, but like
you just write jokes, man.
Bianca's promo last night, perfect example of this, because this had to have come from a writer that doesn't really know anything. But
before you get into that, they just need to get away with all inspirational speeches altogether. Between Nikki, her, Drew, I don't know where they're going.
Well, just too many.
Yeah, you give me one bully speech, one bully person. Don't give me like 4 people on each roster.
Everybody, like Drew, I get it. You're Scottish and you're proud of your heritage. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm tired of the limericks or whatever you.
But when you're still like when you're going back and constantly quoting Winston Churchill and giving me stories from Kings of Scotland in the 1678 and
little wise tale.
Sean.
These kids don't even know who that is anymore.
And then Bianca last night comes out, and again, she cuts like the inspirational baby face overcoming the bully. She used Bailey's name instead of bully. So like I hope Bailey doesn't turn into like a Karen where it represents being a bully, because Bailey doesn't deserve that. Yeah. But then to wrap it up, she throws out a freaking Wizard of Oz quote. Quoting Wizard of Oz, a movie from the 1930s or
30.
Well, it played off the ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong, the witch is dead.
It played off the ding dong.
You might as well have flying monkeys come around the Thunderdome last night. What's next? Bailey's going to come out on stage and have a bucket of water on top of her, and she's going to melt? Is that where we're going with this storyline?
It played off the ding dong. Come on, man.
You could play off the ding dong without doing ding.
But what else? What else you gonna play off? Ding dong, the witch is dead. Give me another ding dong that comes off.
Just ding dong. That's all. Just say it.
Just say ding dong.
Yes, that's it. That's all. You're using one of WWE's promos. Your time is up. My time is now.
W.
This is why I shut off my phone on Monday, man.
I thought about coming in here and just rereading the tweets that I put out on Monday night with those tweets to get you to sit up on the stand as a defense witness and try to explain why your client is innocent of killing the business. At this point, those motherfuckers are jumping the shark and they're taking it nosediving headfirst into the ocean.
Nobody's killing the business. The world is killing the business.
Except for the Young Bucks.
They're not.
See what I did there? I tied it to the book, Killing the Business. That's how you segue. There you go. That's how it's supposed to be done, Jay.
Hey.
That's better than anything that WWE creative has written in the last 2.5 years.
Guess where that joke went?
That's because you don't know the Young Bucks. See, you don't know the product.
I don't.
You say you don't know the product.
That's right for AEW.
You should write for AEW. You don't know the product. You don't know who the Young Bucks are. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there was matches on Raw that I enjoyed from a wrestling standpoint. I did. Which as of late, that seems to be the case. Most of the matches have been good on Raw. It's just everything else with the show that just completely drags it down. And for me, as a wrestling fan, I can't do just matches. I need more than that. That's where we disagree, Jay. You can do just matches and you're fine. And that is what it is. I need the other ingredients. I need the whole meal. Just don't give me a steak. I want my steak. I want my potatoes, my broccoli.
You need the entertainment.
The story.
I need pro wrestling. I need pro wrestling.
You need the entertainment.
I need pro wrestling, just not sports entertainment.
Entertainment here. Okay.
So with that being said, couple things that I did like. Riddle and Orton continue to be fantastic together. That was tremendous. I did chuckle a little bit about the Riddle coming down on the scooter and chasing Miz, who was in the wheelchair, and I think it was Graves who said, "What did he say? Something about we have a slow speed chase on our hands or something like that." Like it was a well-timed line from Graves. He tried to oversell the whole Doudrop thing and being inspired and everything else, and it was horrible. Yeah. Flat. SmackDown, Roman Reigns and the storyline continues to be fantastic. Love what they're doing with Jimmy now. Having him show his merit to become main event Jimmy Uso, and continuing to build that. Roman, coming out last night and was about to change course because he's wiped out the entire division. Then we get the surprise return of Edge. You think they pulled the trigger too soon on it? Because if we're getting Roman and Edge at Money in the Bank, I'm gonna be highly disappointed.
That's, I mean, if we're getting Roman and Cena at SummerSlam, then.
And we're supposed to get Edge and Seth at SummerSlam. So those are like the two big matchups from SmackDown side of things, as far as what's been rumored out there. So,
I mean, what do you think? So what was Rollins doing when he called his shot? You think that plays in anything?
I think that may be not right now, no. But we don't know. We don't. I mean, you're not going to have Seth win Money in the Bank again.
But you feel what if he costs Edge's costs Edge
the match, and then that's how you get to Seth v Edge for SummerSlam. I'm okay with that, depending on what they do. With the rest of the build up to the match, I can see that being like the jumping off point. I don't know how you're going to get to Roman and Cena at this point. The seeds were planted last night with them saying that they have to change direction and go elsewhere because he's run through everybody. Mm-hmm. So I think it hurts Edge to be off from SummerSlam to come back 3 weeks, have a title match at Money in the Bank, and then lose. Yeah. So it's like, what is Edge really doing? You know what I mean? Like he's not working to elevate anybody else up the card. He's just put in the main event picture because he has the name, but yet he's losing. So, like, again, I don't know if that's really the best.
You're just elevating Roman.
Faster you're in, the faster you're out.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see how they can get to Roman and Cena based off of what Heyman was saying last night before Edge came back. So I'm okay if they continue on that trajectory. If after Money in the Bank, then Roman's like, all right, look, I have nobody else left. You know what I mean? Like, and then Cena makes his miraculous return, and they start, their feud off and running.
This is why I hate the internet, because we know all this.
No surprises.
I mean, yeah, we know it. We think we know it to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, they want to make SummerSlam as big as WrestleMania, and by having Cena come back and work it, that's what you're telling us. Okay, I get that. I don't mind Cena and Roman at this point because I want to see Roman on the stick with Cena now in this version of Roman.
True.
Because before they had back and forth, but
it was one-sided.
Like, did you forget? What was the line he said? Did you forget to write down your lines on your hand?
Yeah.
Something like,
he would slow down, take your time.
Yeah, slow down, pause, take your time, think about what you have to say from the script they gave you, and then let me know so we can keep going. Like, just completely killed him. But Roman now, like, I think I really want to see him. And then you can add Paul going back and forth with Cena, like talking smack segments will be great. Like, you know what I mean? There's all that stuff that can build it up to where it's a match that I want to see at SummerSlam. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, I guess if you're going Edge Reigns at Money in the Bank, you had to bring Edge back last night because if he just fills up the Friday night before, it doesn't really make much sense that way. So, I think we'll have to jump through hoops going through Jimmy to get to Reigns, but I'm not mad at that. The highlight of the night for me last night, and it came off one of the dumbest segments, though, was the coronation of Shinsuke Nakamura. It's fucking
Rick Boogs. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, but I saw a picture of it. It was like, man, get this man out of here.
I like Rick Boogs.
He's so over the top that it's like you can't not but enjoy it. The highlight, though, and with Pat McAfee has been
that's what
really
I thought you were going.
Pat McAfee has been really good and has settled in just tremendously. I think he had the line in the night in Hell in a Cell with the glove, and I think was it Cesaro that kicks Steph's glove out of the ring.
Yeah,
he's like, what would he say? Something like a piss missile or something. You know what I mean? But while Nakamura's entrance music is playing in shredding on the electric guitar. McAfee stands up on his chair and stone cold self-clacks 2 water bottles. And Michael Cole is looking up at him. And it was just like the highlight of the night. And then they go back and they show McAfee and he's just completely dry. And it's like
if we didn't get to this, I was gonna wrap it up with I was gonna come back to this, but he was definitely one of the highlights of Hell in a Cell. Like my family loved the commentary. As much as they hate wrestling, they were cracking up at the commentary.
Like I thought it was going to be a good hire when they did it, just because of his gift to gab. He's so good, and his take is so different. And from everything that I've seen watching his Mr. Friday Night, backstage blog series of him and his stuff and his interactions that he's talked about on his show, be Pat, and Pat is not only is he entertaining and everything else and adds a different perspective to the product that was lacking for a while, but he's winning Vince over on a weekly basis, and he still admits like I could do so much better and I screwed this up and that up and everything else. But like for him being only doing it for the short amount of time, I think he's one of the highlights of the company right now. Yeah. It's really enjoyable listening to him and what he does and how he presents it, because it's truly like a fan sitting there doing commentary. Mm-hmm. Like he gets excited, he's standing up, he's jumping up and down, he's over the top with stuff. Like it's really good. Really good. So yeah, he was the highlight of my night last night for SmackDown. Anything else main roster wise? No. Night. I caught the main event with Kushida and O'Reilly. One of the best matches I've seen in recent memory. Those two put on a clinic, an absolute mat clinic between them two. Vic Joseph fucking kills me every single time I hear him on commentary. Every single time.
He's awful.
But even with that being said, I didn't let that take away, from what that match was. I didn't catch the rest of the episode, so if you guys have any other highlights that you want to point out, but I did see that, and then we had the debut of Diamond Mine, which came out headed by Malcolm Bivens. Roddy Strong returns, is Tyler Rust, and then Suzuki is the other individual. So nice little group there, nice little faction. Jay, you shit on AEW for having too many factions, but you look around the landscape of NXT nowadays. You got Diamond Mine, you got Hit Row, you know what I mean. You got all these. You got Legado.
One comes.
You got Legado, Asthma. You got The Way. I mean, we got factions here added up, buddy. Like, so
Xilinx people.
Yeah. I mean, that's 5 factions right there. Like,
oh, look at it.
But no, Rich, you got any other quick hitters? Hey, from the great. Look at this guy.
He's chilling. Look at that.
I mean, with rock sunglasses on. Come on. Hollywood.
It's still
I'm a certain age. They're transitions.
You can tell it's the early morning out there. Jeez.
Yeah, whose Wi-Fi did you hack to get on the show right now? Because you're out in the sticks with trees.
I turned off the Wi-Fi just so I could actually get on. And I'll show you a little bit of the.
Oh, you're on the G's. Huh?
Oh, look at you! Live.
Wow.
Nice little
you weren't lying when you said Bob Ross would be in his glory with all those trees in the background and snow-capped mountains and
happy trees everywhere.
We're gonna add a little tree over here, a little happy tree. Yeah. So NXT. I don't really have much else for NXT. If you guys have any other quick hitters, as far as what you liked from NXT on Tuesday night.
Adam Cole and Carmelo Hayes was great.
That
See
was
this
a good
guy
match.
having a future in the business. And then
I didn't mind the women's tag match.
Yeah, you're getting a 4-way out of that a triple threat.
Triple threat.
American Bash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're getting Shotzi and Ember against Dakota and Raquel against Zoe and
Io,
Io. Mm-hmm. And
Zoe and Io, that has the potential to be a nice little tag team. I think if they actually let them run with the tag team and not just put them two together for this special show that they're doing, they have some potential there to do that, which could help elevate Zoe up, even more working with Io.
And they had a little backstage segment where they were interviewing Zoe, and she was like, "I did it out of respect." And the Io came by, was like, "I don't like you, but I respect you." You gonna have that
already planting the seeds already. Have Io go back to Io? Yeah,
Io flies alone.
You had Dunn and Joe stare off again in the back.
Yeah, they're playing up that Provoked.
Yeah, they are.
They keep on missing that Provoked every week.
Mm-hmm. Then Cross and Joe, their little stare down and that stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of Cross, him and Bronson Reed again this week had matches. They had dark matches last night on SmackDown, and then he had a match on Main Event this week against Shelton. The interesting thing there was, and you can read into this however you want, but no Scarlet and no Smoke or dark.
Yeah.
It was just his music, and he walked out, came down to the ring. I didn't see the match with Shelton. I want to go back on and watch it to see what he did, because obviously Shelton, can go into the back and look at Vince and go, "Yeah, he's the guy," or "No, he's not." But yeah, so that was just interesting. I hope if they call him up, you got to bring the whole package. You can't just have him, because
somebody said that
that's what main roster will do.
Yeah, somebody said that Scarlett was getting her own tryout.
She did have, I believe, she had a dark match on SmackDown as well. So, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe call ups here in the near future. But they're definitely looking at them too, which is kind of odd because your North American and your NXT champ are getting books right now to be called up. So
yeah,
if we get a title drop here anytime in the near future, that's an obvious sign that they're going up to the main roster.
The draft will be coming up in August too, so that could have something to do with it.
Oh, okay.
There was some leaks came out this week that Keith Lee has been off TV due to legal issues with the name Keith Lee.
I did see that.
Yeah, so he's continued to put out tweets every now and again that he would definitely fill us in and tell his story when he's able to tell his story. So we'll see how that plays out. Just something to keep an eye out on with that going forward. What else did I see? Impact on Thursday night. I didn't catch the show. I did follow along with it. Another solid show from Impact. Like the storylines that they're telling are good, keeping things moved along, getting ready for Slammiversary. There will be fans in the crowd for Slammiversary. Don't know how many, but that announcement was made, so we'll get fans there. And then this coming Thursday, you have Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers against Moose, Sami Callihan, and Chris Sabin. So that's your main event and your co-main event individuals are all going to be involved in that 6-man. You have Chris Bay versus Petey Williams, which could steal the show on Thursday night. That'll be a really good X Division match. Then you have TJP and Falaba against Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Were 3 announced matches for this coming Thursday. But Impact continued to put out good quality wrestling each and every single week.
Have they been rocking no fans the whole time? Like,
yeah.
Just straight nobody?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Just straight nobody? Okay.
Yep.
That'd be interesting to see them with fans back.
Yeah. The Slammiversary will be back with fans.
I'll definitely watch
I
that.
think they said I think Slammiversary is still going to be limited on fans, but at least there'll be something.
Okay, somebody in
Yeah,
there.
there'll be something there. MLW Battle Riot 3 was announced for July 10th. So that will be there live at the ECW Arena, the 2300 Arena now. So that
Love the throwback
MLW
poster.
You sent that poster. I was hoping it was crawling into the bridge. It wasn't.
So yeah,
Let's hope that that's one of those things that COVID took away.
Come on, that's the biggest summer spectacular. You know, that's higher than SummerSlam. Come on, you should know that already.
and then tonight, obviously, we got AEW from 8 to 10. It'll be interesting to see what kind of numbers they do tonight on TNT.
Saturday night.
Saturday night, big main event, Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega. I'm not sure what else is announced for the card. I know that I didn't see anything as of this morning, but I'm sure it's going to be a bigger stack card. So that we have that tonight, which I'll tune in and watch that tonight, so we can touch on that next week. But yeah, so that was kind of what I had for this week in Bell to Bell topics wise. I know we were WWE heavy, but again, it had to be it just had to be done with the stuff that went on this week.
Any input, Chris, on the main roster?
No, move on.
Okay.
Anybody got anything else before we wrap up this? And I think after all the shit that I just relived again from WWE, I need to drink a beer. So
We're ready.
Let's go.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, so this week's Drink of the Week segment is brought to you by watching a terrible wrestling product on Monday night.
Hope you have beer for Monday.
Yeah, we will be doing Lancaster Brewing Company's Strawberry Wheat. It's an ale with natural strawberry flavor, brewed and canned by Lancaster Brewing Company in Lancaster, PA. It is only 4.7% alcohol by volume, so might as well just, drink a spritzer. Or like 17 of these because it's not going to be
Siemens.
Little description on the back of the can here. It says, if you enjoy a delicious, mild-bodied crafted beer, look no further than our award-winning Strawberry Wheat. Lancaster original since 1995, our classic American wheat is brewed with white wheat, two-row, and caramel malts with a touch of strawberry for incredibly smooth and refreshing flavor. And am I drinking a beer or like a goddamn glass of wine? Jay, this was your pick. Go figure.
Yes, yes.
It's
If
a two already.
it has a fruity flavor, it was my pick.
It's a
If
two.
It was my pick.
It's already a two. Right there.
I give all my beers a 3.
Hasn't even tried it yet and gives it a 3.
All right, let's crack them open, sip it here, and let's see what we got.
What the fuck? Not what I was expecting.
Well, expect that reaction, Donald.
Like they just they poured this over strawberries.
Like I get strawberry, but it's like,
What the?
That's a weird ass. Is this old? Is it old? Is it expired? What the fuck?
it's like water. It's real watered down.
Yeah,
It is.
Like I know, like when
we might have to revisit this. We had a bad batch.
yeah, I definitely get this. I definitely get strawberry for sure. Like I can pick up the strawberry. It's not overpowering, but so like it's just it's to me it's like a watered down version of strawberry.
A weird aftertaste.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because it's the wheat with the strawberry. Like I don't know what other beer you pair strawberry with and to do it in a wheat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm thinking right now. To me, this is like watching like President Dave Portnoy give a pizza review one bite. I'm over here just spitting verbiage as I try to come up with a score here.
It reminded me a lot. Like I could taste the strawberries and I could taste the wheat beer. Like I could taste both, but I just didn't think it fit together.
This just feels like a LaCroix beer to me. Like just you can smell it.
Yeah.
It's the essence of strawberry.
It's a hint.
Yeah.
You could smell it when you crack it open.
Oh,
You smell strawberries.
To me, I'm gonna go with a 2 on the sumo scale. I'm gonna go with a 2. I'm not mad at trying it, but it's not something that I'll go back and pick up.
Yeah, no, that's a 1.5 for me.
Jesus, 1.5 for you.
Oh,
Shoot, this is a 1 for me. Seemed like you would just filter out of the Mon River itself. This stuff is trash. Tastes like a Budweiser. That's what it is.
This might be the worst review from Donald.
Iron Shitty, Natty Ice. Can we go down the line? Milwaukee's best. This is nasty ass shit. This is beer pong beer. That's what it is.
That you mixed in the water cup.
That's what it is.
I'm not honestly. I'm not a big fan of Lancaster Brewing in general. Like I've had a bunch of their stuff, and it just doesn't do much for me. This is another one. I didn't completely hate it. I felt like it was an okay wheat beer, like with a hint of strawberry. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well.
Okay.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Don't necessarily shy away from this just based on our takes, but if you try it, hit us up. Let us know what you think.
You pair this with a strip steak.
I'm not even doing the toast. Just wrap it up. Just wrap it up.
That's it.
All right, this week in sports, folks, a lot of stuff happened this week in sports. Major League Baseball is a complete joke. I don't know if you guys watched. I don't know if you guys watched the strip show the other night, but Max Scherzer and Sergey Ramos or Ramo from the Oakland Athletics.
Athletics, yeah.
He walked off the field and just dropped everything.
Yeah.
Dropped the pants, everything. Like check me, Scherzer. Joe Girardi had him checked 4 times in the span of the first 3 innings or whatever. Had him come out middle of the 4th inning to check him on the mound. This is a complete joke. Like, this is why Major League Baseball is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not taken seriously because, like, you throw this out there in the middle of the season, trying to crack down on this, and it's like, it's just horrible. It's terrible experience.
It is terrible. And for that, especially with Scherzer, they should come up with a rule like if they don't find anything on a person the first time, you're done. It's like the challenge rule in football.
Mm.
Yeah, like it 3 times, like that's too much. Even for my liking, that's too much.
Yeah, it's not doing anything to
Was
help.
it Girardi all 3 times, or was it just the one?
No, Girardi was one.
One, but they did okay.
The umpires are going to check them as they come off the field in between innings, right?
Mm-hmm.
The coaches, the managers have the ability to send an umpire out there. If 4th inning, Girardi had the umpire go out and check Scherzer, and Scherzer looked at him in the dugout like, "The fuck are you doing, man? Like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is really what we're doing?" And
I don't think coaches should have that. If the umps are checking each innings, the coach shouldn't have that appeal.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah, it's ridiculous. And then if they was like, his hair's wet and that stuff, you're like, yeah, because he's sweating. So they made him change hats.
Yeah,
like he is sweating. Like, come on.
And what's sad is surrounding all this bullshit. There's actually really some amazing stuff happened over the past couple of weeks. Shohei Ohtani, not this past week, but the week before. This was his week, right? Tuesday home run, Wednesday home run, Thursday 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 5 Ks. Friday 2 home runs, Saturday home run, Sunday home run. Dude is unbelievable right now.
Man, he's a monster. He is.
He's living up to all the hype that he came into the league with, and you literally have not seen this in over 100 years. Like Babe Ruth is literally the last person to do this in Major League Baseball. So you're seeing something that is literally a century in the making for another player to do, and it is fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
So if you're not a fan of his and what he's doing this season so far, like I don't know what you're just not going to be a baseball fan.
Just like you said, I would definitely pay money to go see this man. I would.
Oh, absolutely.
Not in PNC Park because I can't do that, but I would definitely.
You get those suggested pages on your Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm getting Angels highlights.
Because as we're talking about it, it's
the algorithm.
The algorithm,
yeah.
Popping the Angels in Indian feed, bro.
I'm like, why am I getting this? But it's good to see.
Yeah, you gotta look for the orange dot on the phone whenever it's tracking you. So yeah, I mean that was his week, right? And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. continues to be on a tear. And then last night, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit 3 home runs in the first 4 innings. That's straight video game numbers, dude.
Yeah, that is.
3 home runs in 4 innings. I don't even know if I've ever heard of that in baseball before. I'd have to go onto Elias Sportsbook or go onto Elias Sports
to find out.
To find out when the last time that was done, if it has ever been done before.
My question is, when did that pitcher get benched?
I don't even know if it was all off the same pitcher. If it was off the same pitcher, that's even worse.
Yeah.
You get up 3 times in 4 innings. That's
yeah, seriously.
Bad pitching. Then the Cubs, they threw a combined no-hitter yesterday.
Yep.
For 4-0 win. I forget how many pitchers it was, but I bet people's already trying to play it off, be like, yeah, that doesn't count as going the no-hitters as in this year. Like, come on now. Like here we go.
So there's that. The Euros 2020. Well, it was 2020, but it's being played this year because of last year COVID. But they start the knockout stage today. I believe Italy plays at 3:30, and I think Wales and Denmark is the first game that should be getting ready to start now around 12:30. So now is whenever it gets serious. Obviously, the knockout stage. I'll be tuning into my phone later to follow up and check on the Italy game and see what that score is. But England lucked out based off the bracket and how they fell out. So they, if they can get past Germany, it looks like they may have a chance to run the table and at least get to the finals of this thing. So we'll see what happens there. And then on to the NBA. Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Last night, the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know if they were playing a junior high team or what happened to the Atlanta Hawks, but I looked down at the score and I believe at one point I saw 71-39 and then 94-58. They absolutely steamrolled the Hawks in game 2 to even that series 1 apiece. Phoenix is up 2-1 over the Clippers. Great game the other night. I believe it was Thursday night. I watched that game with the Clippers and the Suns. Fantastic game, back and forth down to the wire. We'll see how that series plays out based off of what you guys seen so far. Donald, now you don't watch the association, Jay. I don't know if you paid attention at all, but out of those 4 teams, who are you looking to see face each other in the finals, and who do you think is going to win it all?
And for me, just on reasons, I like the underdogs all the time. So I would like to see Atlanta win it all, just cause. Just cause.
I don't watch, but I do catch the highlights. I don't know. I don't like this Trae Young character. Don't like him one bit. So I'm gonna go Giannis, and I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't want to see Chris Paul make it just to continue that that legacy, but I do want to see him win, but I don't. So I'm gonna go Suns and Bucks.
All right, who you got out of that?
I want to go Bucks for real. For Giannis to get his.
To me, the Suns Clippers series. Obviously, Game 3 was a close one. Could have went either way, but
lay off Pete.
Yeah, he missed 2 free throws, but then came back and for me, I don't know. The Suns just look slower in Game 3, and I don't know if it's because with Chris Paul coming back and being off all those days and not being able to actually do anything, and depending on how COVID is actually going to impact him moving forward, we'll see. We've heard other players come out and talk about how they felt after they had COVID. In the NFL, Cam Newton and other players, Myles Garrett came out and said how they, felt like they were only at like maybe 40%, 50% of what they used to be after getting COVID. They just look slower. Like I think the tempo and the speed that they played at in games 1 and 2, Cameron Payne has been fantastic for them. Not saying that you sit Chris Paul down because it's Chris Paul. He's one of the best point guards of all time. But at the same time, you got to figure out that balance. And Monty Williams is going to have to do this as a coach. You're going to have to figure out that balance of when do we put in Payne and let him run it, and you know what I mean, compared to how Chris is playing. So
I think Booker just still needs to get adjusted to wearing that face mask, and he'll be.
I think he'll be all right. He talked to Rip Hamilton about wearing a mask and all that. I mean, it's kind of hard to adjust straight on the fly like that, especially for a shooter. But I think he'll bounce back. I think him and Chris Paul were like 0 for 10 or 0 for 11 at one point in the first half, and that's not going to get it done. But yeah, I'd like to see the Clippers. I'd like to see the Suns win just for CP3 to have a chance at a title. And then Giannis, to me, Stephen A. Smith I think it was Stephen A. who said this week that the Bucks have to win a title this year. You sweep the Heat, who knocked you out last year.
Mm-hmm.
You beat Durant, and a banged up James Harden without Kyrie. You're playing an inferior Hawks team who's not there yet. And then you look across at the Western Conference, you don't have LeBron, Kawhi's out. Like, you have to win a championship this year if you're the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's lined up for you to do it. If you don't do it now, when are you going to be able to do it?
Yeah, no.
So there's that. So I'm looking for a Bucks Suns finals, and I'm going to go with the Bucks with Giannis to get a ring there. And we'll see how that plays out. Some coaching hires. Jason Kidd became the coach of the Dallas Mavericks. So he returns home to the team that drafted him as a rookie. Interesting to see how that will play out. Rick Carlisle got hired by the Indiana Pacers. Some controversy around that hire. People came out and said they really didn't do the NBA version of the Rooney Rule and went through and looked at minority candidates. Brian Shaw got a phone interview but didn't have an in-person interview, so there was some controversy there. And then Portland hired Chauncey Billups to be their coach. So some different names, some former players. I know Jason Kidd coached before. He was a head coach before, and he's been an assistant coach. So he's getting another crack at head coach, and this will be Chauncey's first go around as a head coach. But some new names. Glad to see some different people getting a shot here. I was hoping maybe Becky Hammond or Dawn Staley, one of the women, would get a job there, and there's still some openings out there. The Celtics made their hire too. He's a Milwaukee or New Jersey Brooklyn Nets assistant coach. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah, interesting. We'll see what plays around with the coaching carousel there.
I saw the stuff them killing Ben Simmons online.
Yeah, they came out this week and said Philly has no chance of trading him, but I don't know, man. Like, you've been in the NBA for 4 years and you haven't developed a jump shot yet. So like, and he's so mentally broken now. Like, if it's not a dunk, I don't even think he'll attempt a layup at this point with how broken he is right now. So Um, Wrapping up basketball, Team USA for the Olympics was announced this week, and the players that are going per Shams Charania on Twitter: Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, Bam Adebayo, Chris Middleton, Kevin Love, Draymond Green, Drew Holiday, and Jeremy Grant. Not our best team. Some of the bigger names pulled out due to injuries or whatnot. If the Suns make the finals and they run, full 7 games, the NBA will wrap up the day before the opening ceremony takes place in Tokyo. So I don't know if like Devin Booker is going to have to pull out or Chris Middleton is going to have to pull out. But there was a lot of talk about Kevin Love getting a spot on this team as the token white guy. And them not wanting to send an all-black team to the Olympics. Swear to God, that's what went around this week. Kevin Love, who is a shell of himself as a player, he's nowhere near the player he used to be. Isn't really going to add anything to this team, but got put on because he's the token white guy. Is what went around this week.
Somebody said that he haven't played since LeBron left Cleveland.
Yeah.
Who's he with now?
Cleveland. He's still with Cleveland.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, he signed the long-term deal, and then Braun and Kyrie were like, "Nah, we're out." So, yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the Olympics because they have the 3-point shooters and that to compete with the other teams, from around the world. But some of the bigger European teams, man, they don't have a lot of size, and you get some of them big Europeans out there like Jokic and them other boys. They're gonna lean on Draymond and Bam and everything else, and that could wear them down. So if they're not shooting the ball well from outside, they may have a tough time. I'm not saying that they won't win the gold medal, but I think it might be more challenging for them than NBA teams, or I'm sorry, Olympic teams that have gone over in the past.
You know anybody else committed?
What's that?
You know anybody else committed from other countries?
No.
I don't. Luka's with his squad.
Luka, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he's already playing with them since the mask got bumped. He's been playing
Serbia,
with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the Giannis brothers, all 3 of them?
Playing for Greece. I don't know if Greece is in the Olympics. I don't know if they qualified.
They said, they saying bronze medal at best for us. That's what a lot of people say. Like, damn.
I think they still got talent.
Yeah, so we'll see there. Stanley Cup Finals are set. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning who won Game 7 last night. They will be going up against the Montreal Canadiens, who beat the Vegas Golden Knights Thursday night. Really good. I mean, I don't want to say really good hockey because it's not necessarily been the most entertaining hockey to watch, but I was hoping Tampa Bay would lose because I didn't want to see them go back to back. But we'll see if Montreal can get it. I believe it's the first time a Canadian team has been in the Stanley Cup Finals since 2004.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
they're trying to be the first ones to win it since they did in '93.
Yeah,
for a Canadian team.
Yeah. So we'll see how that shakes out. NFL wise, the big announcement this week. Well, I hope we get to the point where this isn't considered a big news announcement. With Carl Nassib from the Raiders coming out as being the first active gay NFL player.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, it like people were like, oh, what do you mean the first? Michael Sam was the first. I'm like, Michael Sam didn't make the league. He got drafted by the Rams, but he didn't make the squad. He didn't play. Like this is an active one, a contributor to a defense. He plays for the Raiders, and that, like, I just wish we need to get to the point where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I looked at it as a non-story. I know everybody else, media-wise and everything on the big networks and that, talked about it for a couple of days. But to me, it's like, all right, can you play or not? I don't.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all that matters. Can you play?
Can you play? And he can play. So, like, kudos to him. I'm glad he felt comfortable enough to come out. You know, maybe he'll be that first individual. You know, in the quote unquote toxic masculinity sport of the NFL, the gladiator sport that it's viewed as, that, you know, it'll allow other people to be comfortable to come out and just, like, let's move on at this point. Really, like, I don't see it being a story. And then the Steelers cut 9-year veteran David DeCastro this week, released him.
So what? You lost 4 people on the line already?
Yes. 4 your 5 are gone. Mm-hmm. Yep. Villanueva, Ravens, Filing. Yeah, to the Chargers. You know, Pouncey retired, and the Castro gone.
Dotson.
The other guy starter.
Everybody's gonna be a starter.
First time starters.
Yeah.
Listen, my thing with this is, I mean, they signed Trey Turner to a 1-year deal. He's a Pro Bowl caliber guard. I think at this point in time, in both of those careers, where when you look at DeCastro and Trey Turner, like, he may not be a significant upgrade, because I think DeCastro has only allowed 2 sacks in his last 2,000 some snaps, from a pass blocking perspective. But run blocking, in that, he was a shell of himself.
And they said his ankle was bad too. So
yeah, I mean, he was easily the best pulling guard in the league for years. Was up there as arguably one of the best overall guards in the league for years. Hell of a player. And I mean, for him while he played for the Steelers. But my frustration with this is, if you're cutting him to free up $8 million in cap space, and you sign Trey Turner, then I need you to also sign Malik Hooker and, you know, maybe Justin Houston to add some depth to that defense. Or Malik Hooker and you know, bring in a Richard Sherman, or bring back Steve Nelson, like, as another corner. Like, don't just release DeCastro. You got all this money, you know, $8 to $10 million cap space now, and you just signed Trey Turner to a 1-year deal. Like, I need something else from you. But it's like they're playing hot potato. They're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's hokey pokey with this season. Like, you have Ben come back because he wants one more run of it. Well, let's look at what's around. Like, you're rebuilding an offensive line that's not going to be ready. You know, defensive wise, you lost some players so that defense isn't going to be the same as it was last year. You got a bunch of unproven players that need to be able to go out there and do it for 17 games now, not just 16. So where are we at here? Like, I didn't think they were Super Bowl contenders if they brought everybody back, but at the same time, like, what was the point? Like, you might as well just have cut Ben loose, give him his $23 million as a final send off, and then roll the season with Mason and Haskins, and see if you can get a top 5 draft pick, get the quarterback of the future.
I don't know if I want to see Mason go 17 games.
Don't give me a 10-7, you know, 9-8 season where you either are in the playoffs or you just missed the playoffs by a game, because then what? You get a 15 to 20, you know, 15 pick to 20th pick draft pick, and you can't do anything. Like, either tear it all down and go for the rebuild, or buy all in and
well, you lucked up this year.
You can.
You got to trade up then, if you're in that situation.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Steelers. We got training camp coming up here in a couple weeks, which that also didn't make sense. So the Steelers, per the NFL COVID guidelines, were not allowed to have training camp out at St. Vincent's and Latrobe, but the Dallas Cowboys can go to California and have fans at their training camp. So what? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like,
I didn't understand how that didn't fit into their COVID plans either.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I mean, the Steelers announced that they're going to split training camp between Heinz Field and the UPMC Center there on the south side. Obviously, they're going to do something for the fans to be able to see how many they can get in for Heinz Field for like a night practice or something like that and whatnot.
They're going to be messed up before the season starts.
We'll see.
They got that money to lay a new turf down if they need to.
Yeah. Trying to think of anything else big in sports this week that caught my eye.
I did see last week after we had on the pod, the guy that passed out in the Euros was released from the hospital, so he's
doing better. Yeah, he got a pacemaker in his heart.
They actually brought him back to life. He was
dead.
He died, cardiac arrest on the field, and they brought him back to life. Christian Eriksen from Denmark. So, crazy scene. We broke that news as we went off last week. We'll see. But otherwise, I didn't really have too much in sports. That was it. We hit all the stuff that I wanted to cover and get into. Double check here. Castro. I'm not going to touch on Kevin Durant and Scottie Pippen going back and forth. But if you want to see a dead body on the internet, go look at Kevin Durant's Twitter responses to what Scottie Pippen said this week.
Oddly, if I turn on my TV right now, that tweet's on pause. That's where I fell asleep.
One last thing before we get out of here for sports. So, big news this week, and we'll see how this shakes out. But the Supreme Court of the United States decision this week makes clear that the NCAA is a profitable enterprise, depressing student-athlete compensation below competitive market value. So it ruled that the NCAA is subject to antitrust laws. And if this tweet came from Amy Dash at Amy Dash TV, she said, "If I were student athletes, I'd be initiating class action lawsuit for damages immediately." So I know we're getting the name, image, likeness for players to start, earning money, but big court decision this week from the Supreme Court. It said, "Hey, listen, this is basically the first domino in the end of the NCAA as we know it."
And then they said something about restrictions on scholarships.
There's going to be a lot of stuff to unfold from this moving forward, but huge win for the student athletes that say, "Hey, I'm allowed to make money. You can't tell me I'm allowed to make money because of the quote unquote amateurism of the sport, and it's not amateurism." And this Supreme Court ruling says, "Hey, listen, it's not amateurism. These guys are allowed to get paid, making billions of dollars. And by the way, if they want to, they can file a class action lawsuit against you for antitrust laws." So, yeah, we'll see how this shakes out moving forward. All right, with that, I don't got nothing else. Everybody good for sports? All right, so let's get into the world-renowned, world-famous, where I'm right and everybody else is wrong. One gotta go. All right, so what do we got this week for One Gotta Go? Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button.
It's a learning curve, huh?
And now. Jesus Christ. This segment sucks. Oh, whoa. I was not ready for this.
I'm still not ready for it.
It's coming. Gosh, come on now.
I thought Chris was the only one with shitty Wi-Fi, Donald. What the hell's going on?
My Wi-Fi's good. Listen, I followed the rules. There we go.
There you go.
So the double S name moniker doesn't necessarily stand for Steve Santoro. It also stands for Seductive Steve because I've been out there putting Baby Maker mixtapes out since junior high.
Bro, I thought it was SummerSlam this whole episode.
The initials for the names.
What a mark! You dumb mark! You're such a dumb mark. But back to the nature at hand here. This is a tough list. Boyz II Men is my all-time favorite R&B group of all time.
This is from Jason.
I hope to get out to Vegas at some point in time before they're done with shows, and I know it's the three of them out there, but
I didn't know they had a Vegas show.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh every now and then do a Pirate Stadium tour.
Yeah, they that's
I've been paid money to go see. Fall into the nutting Ponzi scheme.
I've been with that. I've been rocking with Boyz II Men since Boyz II Men came out. Jodeci, like I said, if you want to put baby making CDs out there, you're going to have Jodeci tracks on there. And then from the spinoff of Jodeci, you got Casey and JoJo. Like, Jodeci's going to stay on my list.
I tried to do Jodeci. That's why I took New Edition off because there was too many spinoffs.
We could have did that. We could have did that one. Gotta go too. Like, which original group had the most spinoff groups?
Yeah.
So now we're down to Drew Hill and Jagged Edge.
And those more of like late 90s.
Yeah. I use songs from both of these as
hey now.
I wasn't going there. I wasn't talking about popping and going.
He is wearing that After Dark shirt right now.
No, but I was gonna say I use these these songs to leave as my songs for my pager when you used to hit the pager up back in the day. They may also have been ringtones on the phone at some point in time. And they may also have been messages left for girls on their pager or cell phone at some point in time. Or back in the day, you used to get a CD, and you'd open up and the lyrics were there. Maybe I might have took a lyric or two and added it into a poem that I was writing to a girl. You know what I mean? But
you're really showing your age with your pager game.
Yeah, it is. I forgot the pager. You can leave music on there completely.
Music on the pager. That I uses to hit that. Oh, no doubt. Man, I like a lot of. Oh, this is so tough.
It is.
Because I don't want to discount either one of these. I'm gonna have to keep Drew Hill, and I'm gonna have to let Jagged Edge go. So one got to go. Jagged Edge for me. Who's next?
Jodeci and Boyz II Men. They were the classics to me back in the 90s. Drew Hill and Jagged Edge were basically the same group to me, but I knew more Drew Hill songs, so just on that point, Jagged Edge had to go.
Like both of y'all, Jodeci and Boyz II Men staying staples. So it's still a tough one between Drew Hill and Jagged Edge. And as I'm thinking about it, just their songs just going through my head, and I just can't.
It's really like that's a tough call, man. Like like I'd like to see them two in a versus.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, that would be good.
There you go. Like I'm looking at the singles right now.
Yeah, like let's
but I'm like, I don't know why, but where the party at's in my head right now. So I'm gonna have to kick Drew Hill off the list.
I mean, you got where the party at.
Let's get married.
But I mean, I don't know. For me, my tiebreaker went to Drew Hill because beauty. Like you're not gonna get a song that like, you put that on and rock out to that whenever.
Now steps gotta go.
Yeah. We're Not Making Love No More from what soundtrack was that?
That was Rush Hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Well, the
kicking-
party at that's that Tequila Willie's, man. That was a staple down there.
So wait, Jay, who you kicking off? Drew Hill?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick Drew Hill off just because where the party at's in my head.
You're getting rid of silvered hair Cisco?
That was one of the selling points. If you get rid of the thong song,
This isn't Cisco by himself. This is
I
Drew
know
Hill
that's what.
Yeah, well,
I know, but yeah, I'm gonna go Drew Hill.
All right.
I'm gonna be 5 step stomping after I get off of this podcast.
Every one of these groups, whenever I used to work at NRM in high school, were always on play. So it's like all great groups here. And everything that you guys said, I don't think I can make an argument for or against. Boys, men, seeing them live. I actually didn't see them play at the Pirates, so I gave my money for that one. I think I'm gonna take Jagged Edge off the list too. That'll be my one go.
That's a tough call. That's a list. Like,
yeah,
we want to see your responses.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this is tough.
Because this is tough. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of groups that you can throw on there.
I was thinking like, 12, but they didn't have the.
Nah, not with this man. Not with these four.
Yeah, not with those. Yeah,
no,
they easily got eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
New Edition was the OG, and I had to take them off.
Yeah, like if you put New Edition on, like who do you out of those four, like who do you put New Edition on, and then does that change your pick? Because to me, if New Edition's on, then automatically, for me at least, New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Jodeci are staying.
Yeah,
not get rid of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let us know what you think of that list. Who got to go there? If you got a different four, that would have been tougher. But I'd be hard pressed to see if anybody. I think a lot of people will either get rid of Jodeci or Drew Hill. I'm sorry, Jagged Edge or Drew Hill. I don't think Boyz II Men and Jodeci are going to get kicked off
anywhere. Yeah.
I was trying to like stick with the era, so I was trying to think like either Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Tony.
See, that's what's hard. The era.
Yeah, and then you get the Drew Hill, Jagged Edge, 112, and somebody else. But then there's like that'd have been too easy.
You know, yeah. I mean, B2K.
Come on now,
no. No, but I mean, like if you're going new, like if you do a New Edition, Boyz II Men, Jodeci, you got Immature, you know, Mint Condition. There's so many that, but yeah, like, and
everybody's top 10 is different.
Oh, absolutely, but we get into an R&B bag. I'm here for that all day long. That's what like you didn't even have Shy on there. Like you put Shy on there.
They weren't there, yeah. You know. I had one that didn't have Boyz II Men on the list at all.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to take the big hitter off the list, you know, just to see what else you got.
No. Mm-hmm. I was like, your list is invalid.
All right, one got to go. Hit us up and let us know what you think, whether we got it right, wrong, or if you had a different four that you would throw up there and you want us to comment on. Let us know that as well, and we'll hit you back and give you our response for your own one got to go list.
Thanks for tuning to episode 43, ladies and gentlemen. Always remember that we are live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you follow us on social media. Subscribe, like, and follow at DumbMarksPod. Our audio-only edition of the podcast is available every Monday, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. And most importantly, Steve's got the Dumb Marks After Dark shirt on. You can buy our merch at prowrestlingtees.com/DumbMarksPod.
Gentlemen. Yes, sir. Buy a shirt, get a shout out live on air on the show. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us each and every Saturday, or when we go live on Fridays with the After Dark special. We got some stuff brewing in the kitchen here, looking to venture out and do some different things coming up here in the future. Things opening back up, so some stuff will be changing as we work our way back to normalcy, and with some podcasts that we got lined up down the pipe here in the future. Hopefully you guys will will like it, tune in, and enjoy. Hit that subscribe button, get that notification turned on so you can catch us anytime we go live. Final thought for me, to follow back up with WWE wise, bunch of releases yesterday from NXT. We had Dango, Tyler Breeze, Tony Nese, Arya Davari, Ever Rise, August Gray, the Singh brothers, Marina Shafir, who's married to Roderick Strong, Killian Dane, who's with Nikki Cross, Arturo Ruas, and Kurt Stallion. Anybody on that list there that catches your eye or you think shouldn't have been released?
Breezango.
Yeah, I thought they were super entertaining.
I feel like Everrise was just getting himself over right now. As much as I hated him to begin with.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be the enhancement talent now.
And Marina Shafir. I don't know. She can stay anywhere with me. Any company. She's a favorite.
Yeah. Also, tonight, if you want to talk about old school stuff, if you want to get back to jorts and 4 and 5 XL shirts while doing the Superman, you have Bow Wow and Soldier. I might turn it on just to hear and listen to it. I really enjoyed the Trina and Eve versus last Wednesday, not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. That's a playlist in and of itself. You guys out there talking about Cardi and Meg Thee Stallion and all that. Trina and Eve put it down for sure. Back in the day as women rappers that helped out the scene there. So that was an enjoyable watch and listen. So I might throw on Bow Wow and Soulja Boy tonight, but it's not something that I'm jumping on for.
Did they make Tony and Mary official, or is that just another mock-up?
So right now it's another mock-up as far as I know, but that's rumored to be coming down the pike.
You can just give me Mary alone. I'll tune in.
Like
with some hateration.
Tony doesn't match up with Mary for me.
Yeah, no.
They're different.
You're going 20 deep. Tony's not there for me with Mary. Like very few people are there with Mary.
I think she got hits. It's just I wasn't.
Like if you're going with Mary J, to me, you got to do Mariah. Don't think you'll ever get Mariah on a versus. But
I was gonna say they gotta put up some money for that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So like you gotta go there. If Whitney was still alive,
her Mariah would be amazing.
Her Mariah would be good.
Yeah.
It's Mary J.
Mary was pop. Tony wasn't pop enough for me. To compare the two.
Is that R&B love?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Mary's a tough matchup for anybody. I don't know who you would put up against her in a 20 for 20.
Janet.
You could do Janet. I wouldn't be mad at that, but stylistically,
it's different. Yeah,
a little different. But Janet definitely got 20 that she could put up there against Mary.
Oh yeah, she does
for sure. But again, I don't think you'd ever see Janet on a versus.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Nah. Maybe. I got that Jackson name. Hey, you got to kick out for that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see. So, Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, like Soulja Boy to me has 1 or 2 hits, but I know he has more than that. He wasn't my era. Like Soulja Boy to me, I'm thinking
he wasn't in the club cranking that. That's what I was.
Well, Crank that Superman. I
like the rock version of that. That's it.
I still think back and feel like an asshole that I did that in the club.
That was like the end of the club days.
Yeah,
I think people sleep on Bow Wow too. Bow Wow got a lot more.
He got a couple.
A lot more what people think.
He got more than Draco.
And he got some. And Bow Wow got features too that he can pull from. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they play out because, it'll be interesting to see. So, I don't think I had anything else for final thoughts. Any of you guys got anything else before we wrap up and end the show?
Rest up, Harrison Ford. Take it easy out there, my man.
You're 78 years old. You don't need to be doing fight scenes or stunts for Indiana Jones.
He should have knew that when he broke his ankle during Star Wars.
Exactly.
Sit your brittle old ass down.
That's what CGI is for, my man.
We said he was during Star Wars and he was injured. Way too old at this point for this shit.
There ain't enough boost drinks or calcium pills to not have your bones brittle up and break. Okay?
Well, there goes our boost sponsorship.
And if Boost or any calcium supplement company wants to sponsor the show, please email dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Anybody got anything else? All right. With that being said, thanks for tuning in this week. We appreciate you guys rocking with us on Saturdays here. And to wrap up the show, we will go with a quote that I saw from Kevin Hart. Don't hate me from pulling a quote from Kevin Hart. I don't even know if it's his quote. He just put it up and I liked it. It says, there are people less qualified than you doing the things you want to do simply because they decide to believe in themselves, period. That hit home for me this week. It's about time for me to make some changes and make some shifts in how I move with certain things going on. So,
you flying solo on this, man?
No, not flying solo.
Justin Timberlake in this?
Has nothing to do with the pod.
The new Pod and Doing podcast with double X over there.
He's over there planting seeds. Reading the tea leaves.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, always believe in yourself. If you want to make a change, get out there and do it. It's never too late. You're never too old. Do what you're passionate about, what you believe in, what you feel will make the most difference for you in your life and others that you may impact. Try to live every day by impacting at least one person, whether you know them or not, and the world will be a better place. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. You're a Mark, we're a Mark, tell a Mark. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.
For a time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.